Yo, real talk, you ever get clowned in an argument and spend the next week in the shower thinking about what you should have said? That perfect clapback that would have ended their whole career? Yeah, we're about to fix that forever. I'm about to give you 7 verbal kill shots that'll have people shook. Number 7 is straight up disrespectful. It don't just win the argument, it changes the whole power dynamic permanently. Let's get it. You replay that L for days, bro. In the shower, stuck in traffic, laying in bed at 3 a.m. just staring at the ceiling like a straight fool. You're out here thinking about that fire comeback you should have dropped, that one sentence that would have absolutely bodied them, the response that would have flipped the whole script. But nah, you didn't say it. You froze up. You got in your feelings. And because you caught feelings, you took that L. Period. Society be lying to you, telling you arguments are about logic and facts. Like if you just explain yourself good enough, if you just lay out the receipts, the other person gonna suddenly get it. Bad straight cap. Arguments ain't about truth, fam. They're about who's got the juice. They're about frame control. Who's running the show? Niccolò Machiavelli, the OG of dark strategy, peeped this centuries ago. My man understood that human beings ain't rational creatures, bruh. We're emotional, hierarchical animals. We don't respect the person who's right. We respect the person who's in control, who's got that BDE, that boss energy. Most folks completely fold during conflict. They start defending themselves, making excuses, yelling, crying, basically handing over their power on a silver platter because they're desperate to be understood. But check it, you ain't here to be understood. You're here to be respected. Put some respect on your name. Today, we ain't learning how to communicate better or have healthy dialogue or none of that soft stuff. Nah, we're learning how to completely dismantle an opponent's psyche without even raising your voice. I'm about to hand you 7 verbal weapons. 7 responses that don't just end the argument. They straight up sever the other person's ability to control you. These ain't witty clapbacks for the playground, my guy. These are psychological circuit breakers. Mind games on a different level. And that 7th one? Yo, the 7th one is the nuclear option. No cap. It's a phrase so dismissive, so final, that it doesn't just kill the conversation. It changes the whole hierarchy of the relationship forever. But fair warning, once you know how to do this, you're gonna see social interactions totally different. You'll see people as puzzles to be solved, not threats to be scared of. You'll stop feeling that heat, that emotional reaction. You'll start feeling the cold, that icy, calculated energy. And in that cold, you're gonna find your power. Aight, let's get into it. Combs back number 1, the Benevolent Spotlight. Are you okay? When somebody comes at you sideways, attacks you out of pocket, they're usually operating from a place of hidden instability. Real talk, anger is rarely about the thing they're actually wilding out about. Anger is a defense mechanism, bro. It's covering up fear, insecurity, or them feeling like they're losing control. When they start screaming, what they really want is for you to scream back. They want to drag you down into the mud with them. If you get big mad, you're basically validating their chaos. You're telling them, yeah, fam, this situation is worth screaming about. You become their partner in the drama. You're feeding into it. Machiavelli would tell you to never fight on the enemy's terrain. Never let them choose the battlefield. So how do you win? You shift the whole spotlight the second they launch a personal attack or raise their voice or try to clown you in front of people. You don't defend yourself. You don't even address their words. You address their mental state, their emotional condition. You look them dead in the eyes. You wait 2 seconds. Just let that silence marinate. And then you say with genuine soft concern, "Are you okay? You seem really upset right now." Yo, watch what happens. It's like a glitch in the Matrix. For real. They were expecting a fight. They were braced for you to come back at them. Instead, you gave them pity. By asking, "Are you okay?" you've completely reframed the situation. You've made them the broken one. You've positioned them as the emotional child throwing a tantrum, and you're the stable adult in the room. You're not the one getting attacked. You're concerned for them. This destroys their whole momentum. They can't keep attacking you because you just stepped out of the role of enemy and into the role of the doctor checking on the patient, the therapist asking what's wrong. If they clap back with, "Of course I'm not okay. You did XYZ," you just nod, keep that calm clinical gaze, and say, "I hear you, but this level of anger, it doesn't seem to match the situation. Is something else going on? Bruh, this is ruthless. It's basically gaslighting for self-defense. You're forcing them to examine their own overreaction. You're making them self-conscious. They gotta sit with that. Think about it. A king doesn't scream at a peasant. A parent doesn't scream at a toddler. The one who's screaming is the one who feels powerless. By pointing out their emotion, you're reminding them of their powerlessness. You're holding up a mirror to their face. And what they see in that mirror, a red-faced, out-of-control mess, is gonna make them want to look away real quick. They'll lower their voice. They have to, because if they keep screaming after you've asked if they're okay, they're literally confirming your diagnosis. They're proving they're unstable. You win by refusing to play the game they're trying to start. Comeback number 2, the dead end. That's an interesting perspective. Aye. So there's this specific type of person who loves to argue just for the sake of arguing. The intellectual bully, that family member who brings up politics at Thanksgiving dinner just to start mess. That coworker who always plays devil's advocate just to watch you squirm and get uncomfortable. These people feed on your friction, bro. They need you to push back so they have something to push against. It's simple physics, action and reaction. If you push back, you're giving them energy. You're giving them that satisfaction of knowing they got under your skin. They got a reaction. Machiavelli taught that you should never waste resources on a battle that yields no profit, no return. Arguing with a fool or someone just trying to provoke you is straight up bankruptcy of your energy. You're going broke mentally. So what do? You cut the fuel line. You starve them out. When they finish their whole rant, when they drop that controversial opinion specifically designed to bait you, to trigger you, you don't engage with the content. You don't bring up facts. You don't get offended. You don't show emotion. You look at them with a blank face, no smile, no frown, completely neutral, and you say, "That's an interesting perspective." And then, this is the key part, you immediately go back to what you were doing. You take a sip of your drink, you check your phone, you turn to someone else, and start a different conversation. You've acknowledged that they spoke, but you've denied them any significance. You've basically said, "I heard you," without saying their opinion matters. The phrase, "That's an interesting perspective," is a verbal coffin, no cap. It says, "I heard you, I processed it, I judged it, and I found it completely unworthy of further discussion." It's polite on the surface, but mad dismissive at the core. It treats their passionate belief like a quirky little opinion, like when a little kid shows you a drawing they made. "That's nice, sweetie. They're gonna hate this. They'll try to bait you again. So you agree? Or do you think I'm wrong?" You just repeat the wall. I think it's a perspective. And you're entitled to it. You're the stone wall, fam. They can throw themselves against you all day long, but they're only gonna break their own bones. You remain unmoved, unbothered, in your lane, thriving. This teaches people how to treat you. It teaches them that you're not a source of supply. You're not a toy that makes noise when they press the buttons. You're not here for their entertainment. Eventually, they'll stop pressing, not because they agree with you, but because you're boring to them. You're not giving them the reaction they crave. And being boring to a narcissist or a bully? That's the ultimate safety, bro. Comeback number 3, the analytical pause, the silence. Real talk, we're scared of silence. In Western culture especially, a gap in conversation feels like a threat. It feels like social death, like something's wrong. So when someone disrespects us or asks a trap question, our instinct is to fill that void immediately. We blurt out the first thing that pops in our head. We stutter. We defend ourselves. We rush to close the gap because that tension is uncomfortable as hell. But power lives in that gap. Power lives in the silence. Machiavelli knew that the prince who speaks less is feared more. The quieter you are, the more weight your words carry. When someone hits you with a rude comment, a demanding question, or a blatant lie, do nothing. Don't answer. Don't react. Just look at them. Lock eyes. Count to 4 in your head. 1, 2, 3, 4. 4 seconds of silence feels like a whole hour during an argument. I swear. It creates this vacuum, this tension. The other person's brain is going to start panicking. Did they hear me? Did I go too far? Why aren't they reacting? What are they thinking right now? In that silence, you're seizing the frame. You're showing them that you're not reactive. You're processing. You're judging them. You're thinking about whether they're even worth a response. After the silence, you don't even need a clever comeback. The silence was the comeback. That pause did all the work. But if you gotta speak, say something that puts the labor back on them. Could you repeat that? Say it slowly, calmly, with zero emotion. Now they gotta say that rude thing again. But this time, the momentum is gone. The heat of the moment has passed. Repeating an insult makes people feel foolish. It sounds worse the second time. Even they can hear it. They'll often stutter, rephrase it softer, or back down entirely. Now they're explaining themselves to you. And remember this golden rule. He who explains loses. You've used time as a weapon, fam. You've forced them to sit in the discomfort of their own aggression. Most people can't handle this. They'll fill the silence with an apology or a retraction just to end that tension, just to make it less awkward. Master the pause, master the silence. It's the sound of authority. Combs back number 4, the agreement trap. You're right. This one is straight up judo, bro. In judo, you don't block the opponent's force. You pull them forward so they fall flat on their face with their own momentum. When someone's attacking your character, they're expecting resistance. They're braced for impact. You're lazy. You're selfish. You're incompetent. They're ready for you to say, "No, I'm not." So don't give them what they expect. If someone attacks you with a subjective judgment, a matter of opinion, agree with them. You're being so difficult right now. You're right. I am being difficult. You don't care about anyone but yourself. I can see why it feels that way. And here's the important part. Don't say it sarcastically. Don't say it with attitude. Say it like you're stating a fact, completely unbothered. What can they do now? They got no next move. They swung the bat and hit nothing but air. They stumbled forward. By agreeing, you disarm the warhead. You strip those words of their power to hurt you. If you accept the label can't be used to shame you anymore. But here's the Machiavellian twist, the sauce. You agree with the truth of the moment, not the truth of your soul. You're not actually calling yourself a terrible person. If they say you're arrogant and you respond, "I can be arrogant sometimes," you're simply admitting to being human. You're taking the sting out of the insult. But then you pivot. You're right, I am being difficult about this, because this actually matters to me. So how do we solve it? See what you just did? You accepted the insult, shrugged it off like dust on your shoulder, and pivoted right back to the goal. You showed that your ego ain't fragile. You showed that you're focused on the outcome, not the emotion, not your feelings. This signals immense confidence. Only a person who's truly secure can admit a flaw without crumbling, without falling apart. It confuses the attacker. They wanted a fight. You gave them a negotiation instead. They wanted to hurt your feelings. You showed them you got no feelings to hurt, at least not about their opinion. You become a ghost. They can't hit what they can't touch. Combs back number 5, the intent reveal. What's your goal here? This one's for the manipulators, the passive-aggressive ones, the people who cloak their insults in jokes or constructive criticism. They rely on plausible deniability, that shield of, "I was just kidding." If you get upset, they hit you with, "I was just joking, bro. You're too sensitive. Can't you take a joke?" They operate in the shadows of meaning, in the gray area. You gotta drag them into the light. When someone makes a snide comment or tries to undermine you subtly, with that slick talk, you stop the conversation. You don't let it slide. You ask a question that cuts through all the noise and targets their motivation directly. What's your goal with that comment? Or, are you trying to be helpful? Or are you trying to hurt me? This is a direct confrontation of their strategy. You're exposing the whole game board. You're making them explain themselves. If they say, "I was just joking," you stay serious, dead serious. Explain the joke to me. I don't get it. Now they're forced to dissect their own malice. They gotta explain why being cruel is funny. It's excruciating for them, uncomfortable as hell. They'll squirm. They'll look for an exit, a way out. By asking, "What's your goal?" you're forcing them to admit their intent, to say the quiet part out loud. If they try to save face with, "I'm trying to help you," you hit them with, "It doesn't feel like help. It feels like criticism." If you want to help, do it differently. You're setting boundaries in real time, bro. You're teaching them that covert aggression, that sneaky disrespect, will not work on you. You will decode it, expose it, and reject it every single time. Machiavelli said you gotta be a fox to recognize traps. This question is you being the fox. It sniffs out the trap and snaps it shut before your leg gets caught inside. It requires courage. It requires you to be willing to make the moment awkward, to create that tension. But remember this, the awkwardness belongs to them, not you. They made the rude comment. You just turned the lights on. If the room looks ugly now, it's because of the mess they made. Combs back, number 6, the disappointment. I expected better. Anger is hot. Disappointment is cold, ice cold. Anger implies that the other person is your equal, an enemy worthy of battle, someone on your level. Disappointment implies that they're beneath you, a subordinate who failed a task, someone who let you down. This is a high-status maneuver, straight up. It works best on people who seek your approval or people who pride themselves on being good people, being respectable. When someone lies to you, breaks a promise, or acts childish, don't yell. Yelling shows they hurt you. Yelling shows they got to you. Instead, look at them with this heavy, tired expression. Sigh just a little, not dramatic, just disappointed, and say, "I'm surprised. I expected better from you." Yo, this cuts deeper than any scream could. It targets their shame. It implies that they had a high standing in your eyes and they just fell from grace. It puts you in the position of the judge, the parent, the authority figure. "I thought you were different. I didn't think you were the kind of person who would do this." You're using their own ego against them, their own self-image. They want to be seen as good, as smart, as competent. You're telling them you're failing at being the person you pretend to be. And then, this is crucial, you withdraw. You walk away. You leave them sitting with that heavy sentence hanging in the air. They'll chase you. They'll try to fix it. They'll try to prove to you that they are better, that they're not that person. You flip the whole dynamic around. Instead of you chasing them for an apology, they're chasing you for validation, for your approval back. This is the art of soft power. You don't force them to change. You make them want to change, to regain your respect. But use this sparingly, fam. It's a heavy weapon. It damages the bond between you. Only use it when that bond is already fractured by their disrespect. Combs back number 7, the nuclear option. I don't care enough to argue. We've arrived, bro. The final lesson. The ultimate move. There are some arguments that straight up cannot be won. There are some people who are committed to misunderstanding you. They're chaos agents, narcissists, energy vampires. They want the fight. The fight is the fuel they run on. As long as you're talking, as long as you're engaged, they're winning because they're consuming your time and your peace. Your mental energy. The ultimate Machiavellian move is to realize that your attention is the most valuable currency on earth, and you can choose to stop spending it. You can pull your investment when you realize the conversation is going in circles, when you realize they're not actually listening to understand, they're just waiting for their turn to talk. You deploy the nuclear option. You stop. You gather your things. You look them dead in the eye, completely devoid of emotion. Not angry, not sad, just done, finished. And you say, you can believe whatever you want. I don't care enough to argue with you about this. And you leave. You walk away. Or even shorter, you're right. I'm done. This is the ultimate rejection, the ultimate dismissal. You're not saying, I give up. You're saying, you're not worth the effort. You're telling them that their existence, their opinion, their anger, none of it is significant enough to warrant a response from you anymore. You're devaluing them to zero. Complete dismissal. For a person who seeks attention or dominance, this is psychological death. This is ego death. They'll scream at your back. They'll try to provoke you to turn around, to get you to engage again. Oh, so you're running away? You can't handle the truth. Keep walking. Don't turn around. Don't respond. Don't give them nothing. Your silence as you walk away is the loudest noise they will ever hear from you. This establishes that you control access to you. You're the gatekeeper. When they disrespect the sanctuary of your peace, when they violate your boundaries, they get evicted, removed from the premises. This creates a vacuum that they cannot fill. They're left alone with their anger, which has nowhere to go but back inside themselves. They end up poisoning themselves. You're free. You've moved on. Machiavelli wrote, It is much safer to be feared than loved. In this context, feared means respected. It means they know you have lines. They know you have self-control. They know you cannot be bullied, baited, or broken. They know that if they push too hard, you won't scream. You'll simply vanish. Ghost mode. And that's a power that money can't buy, fam. The real game. Listen to me closely. For real, pay attention. These 7 responses are tools. But a tool is completely useless in a trembling hand, in shaky hands. The words don't matter if your energy is frantic, if you're visibly nervous. The delivery is 90% of the impact. Maybe more. You gotta practice the outlier state. Low heart rate, deep breathing, still eyes, calm energy. When the chaos starts, when things get heated, you slow down, they speed up. You slow down, they raise the volume. You lower yours. This contrast is what makes these techniques work. It's the contrast between a storm and a mountain. The storm howls and rages. The mountain remains. Unbothered, unmoved, be the mountain. Most people go through life like leaves in the wind, blown around by the emotions of others. A boss yells, they get sad. A partner argues, they get angry. A friend criticizes, they get defensive. They're puppets. They're being controlled by external forces. Cut the strings. When you use these techniques, you're taking the scissors and cutting the strings that the world uses to jerk you around, to control you. It's gonna feel uncomfortable at first. Not gonna lie. Your old self wants to defend. Your old self wants to be nice, to be liked. Your old self wants to explain and justify. Let the old self die. The new you, the architect of your own reality, doesn't explain. The new you observes, watches, calculates. The new you decides what deserves a response and what doesn't. The new you speaks once with precision and then lets the silence do the heavy lifting. There's a paradox here, a strange truth that most people never figure out. The more willing you are to end the conversation, the more control you have over it. The less you care about winning, the more often you'll actually win. The more you embrace the darkness of silence, the more peace you'll find. This is forbidden knowledge because society wants you compliant. Society wants you reactive. Reactive people buy things to feel better. Reactive people vote out of fear. Reactive people are easy to control, easy to rule. Don't be reactive. Be strategic. Step out of the noise. Step into the cold. Yo, if this opened your eyes, if this hit different, understand that this is only what I can show publicly. There are videos I cannot upload for everyone to see. There are aspects of dark psychology, social dynamics, and power that I simply cannot discuss publicly on YouTube without getting censored or demonetized. The algorithm suppresses the most powerful information, the real sauce. Those videos exist behind the join button. If you're still here, if you made it this far, you're not like the others. You're cut different. Subscribe if you haven't already. But if you want what's hidden, what's really powerful, click that join button and step into the architect level. You'll unlock exclusive, uncensored videos that dive into the deepest parts of the human psyche, the real mind games, the real power dynamics. Most won't do it, and that's the point. That's what keeps you ahead. Stay dangerous. Stay calculated. Peace.